Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be with you here today on the Modern Sales Mastery Show. I'm so glad that you could join us today on our inaugural event. Yes, this is our very first episode of the Modern Sales Mastery Show. And I'm Mario Martinez Jr., CEO and founder of Vengreso, and also one of 3 hosts for the Modern Sales Mastery Show. So we're gonna have lots of fun today. Let me get started with taking you through some slides around the Modern Sales Mastery Show, what it is and why we're here, and kind of tee you up for what's to come. So let's go ahead and take a look. Modern Sales Mastery, episode number 1, selling the right way. Hey, guess what, guys? You're meeting me, Mario Martinez Jr. That's me right there on the front cover. I've got also 2 other folks that will be hosting this show as well with me. That is Vivica Von Rosen and Kurt Shaver. We'll get to know them in just a little bit. You want to make sure that you're with us to be able to get deeper, richer information on how to increase your engagement, create conversations, and close sales pipeline. Let's keep on going. Let me give you a little backstory around the Vengreso organization and who we are. As mentioned, I'm Mario Martinez Jr., CEO and founder of Vengreso, and your host of the Modern Sales Mastery Show. I'd like to introduce you to Kurt Shaver, our Chief Business Officer and co-founder. You may well know him as a very well-known sales influencer. Vivica Von Rosen, arguably one of the most well-known social media influencers on LinkedIn out there in the market today. In fact, if you Google LinkedIn expert, you will actually find Vivica Von Rosen on page number 1. She is one of the most well-known LinkedIn experts out there, and even Google says it. And we've also got Bernie Borges, our Chief Customer Officer, not one of your hosts, but also one of our co-founders here. So a few years ago, roughly about 4, the story goes that each of us were in our own individual businesses. And we decided one day when I placed a phone call to Kurt and Viv and Bernie, said, hey, I got this great idea. I'd love to form the world's largest modern sales training company focused exclusively on sales prospecting to increase the sales conversation. Are you in or are you out? Well, it took a little bit of convincing to get some of my co-founders to say, yes, I'm in. But when we did it, we essentially formed Vengreso, which has now become the largest modern sales training company in the world, having educated over 140,000 sales professionals, and have taken the time to work with some of the largest of large names that are out there, Juniper Networks, we've got CenturyLink, and we've got some of the smallest of small clients. As a matter of fact, guess what? The world's largest vanilla extract producer is one of our clients as well. So from entrepreneur to solopreneur, all the way up through the largest of large Fortune 100s, we've worked with them. So what the heck does Vengreso mean? All right, I'll put it simply. Vengreso. It was one day, one evening, after 3 months of being very frustrated trying to pick a company name, I finally said, what in the world? How do you say sales and revenue in Spanish? Well, sales is ventas, and revenue is ingresos. So I was trying to create an oodle doodle word, and we smashed together 2 words, ventas and ingresos, and we came up with Vengreso. So overall, we're 100% focused on sales and revenue. That's who we are, and that's who we're focused on. So that's a little bit about Vengreso. Let's talk about some things I want you to do right now. A couple of things. I want you to go and type into your browser, followonlinkedin.com. If you aren't following Vengreso, hey, listen, join the movement. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn. Every day we're out there having discussions on our corporate channels. So follow us on LinkedIn. Also, if you want free training, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just follow on youtube.com and you'll be able to get to us. And then if you're a tweeter, that's right, click join on twitter.com. So make sure you type in follow on youtube.com. Make sure you get out there. We've got hundreds of great videos that are free of charge, and you're going to find some great content inside there. So follow us on YouTube. All right, who should attend? Number 1, absolutely, you thought it right, sales manager to CROs and marketing leaders, CMOs. Make sure that you are joining. This is going to be a lot of information that is targeted towards those individual sales leaders. In addition, sales enablement leaders, 100%. You should absolutely be joining every week the things that we're going to talk about and teach you, you can absolutely take and implement into training curriculum, coaching curriculum, managing curriculum directly into your seller with your sellers. And of course, individual sales reps, you got that right. So there are 4 specific goals that we have for you with this show. 4 goals. Number 1, our job as part of the Modern Sales Mastery crew is to make things unequal. We want to help you set yourself apart from your competition. We want to make all things completely unequal between you and the other modern seller who's not really modernized yet, quote unquote, the seller. So we're going to modernize your selling capabilities, your selling skill set. I'm going to take that over the course of the next year to transform you into modern sales team or an individual modern seller. Number 2, you're going to learn, hear this a lot from us. Become and be a master connector. Be a master connector. That's really our aim and our goal, is to help you learn how to utilize tools and technology like LinkedIn, like video, like text, the omnichannel approach to engaging and connecting with your target audience and buyers. So you'll hear a lot about this and teaching you how to be a master connector. And guess what, guys and gals? In this era, in this day and age, in 2021, without a doubt, learning how to connect with our buyers is going to be the key critical element for your individual success. So we're going to talk a lot about that. And finally, 2 more things. You saw it in the video. Prospect better and help you sell more. Those are the 4 goals that we have as part of the Modern Sales Mastery Show. And again, looking at everything from individuals to CROs, everything that we teach you guys and everything that we talk about and all the insights that we give you through this show will help your sales team essentially learn how to be better prospectors, better engagers, and learn how to sell more. All right, now let's transition into, we'll be talking a lot about this and how to engage with them and connect with them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a journey that has never before been aligned between both seller and buyer. In fact, the 4 things that I put up on the screen here will absolutely showcase to you how today's modern buyer is engaged. Number 1, today's modern buyer is digitally connected. Number 2, they are socially engaged. Number 3, they are absolutely mobile attached. And number 4, they are video hungry. Now, what do I mean that sellers and buyers are completely aligned, that never before in history has something like this happened? Well, guess what? You today and your sales team are absolutely digitally connected, socially engaged, mobile attached, and video hungry. Never before in buying and selling history has it been so perfectly overlaid and aligned, where the buyer and seller are both digitally connected, the buyer and seller are both socially engaged, the buyer and seller are both mobile attached, and the buyer and seller are video hungry and video producers. So as we think about this particular concept, as we think about the state of today's modern buyer, we would recognize that the way we engage, the way we build trust, the way we sell to today's modern buyer must be thought of in the idea that our buyers are digitally connected. They are on social media. They are looking at their mobile device 40% of the time to read individual messages. So we have to be cognizant of the fact of what might we send them that might be more than one scroll on a mobile device. And also that buyers are out there consuming video. In fact, Cisco, a little known player inside of the world of the internet, as a major infrastructure provider for internet backbones, predicts that this year, 81% of the world's internet traffic will be consumed as a result of watching video. So this is going to be a real big topic for us as we go through the next 52 weeks. Is all around video. You're going to get lots of great insights and training on the video component. And you're going to have lots of fun with this as well, and hopefully using video. And there's a ton of providers that are out there that are creating opportunities for you to use video in your prospecting efforts. But there is a way to do it, and there is a wrong way to do it as well. And we're going to take you through a lot of those types of things. So guess what, guys? Never before has today's modern buyer been digitally connected, socially engaged, mobile attached, video hungry, and that it completely overlays to today's modern seller. With that in mind, this has changed 100% the way we sell and attract talent. We as leaders need to be thinking about the fact that while we're looking up our potential sales director, sales manager, or seller and looking at their individual backgrounds and their profiles on LinkedIn, guess what? That seller, that sales manager, that sales director, or that vice president is looking back at you. And what are they seeing? Are they seeing a modern sales leader, or a sales leader that hasn't figured out that today's modern buyer is digitally connected, socially engaged, mobile attached, and video hungry? So from a talent perspective, we have got to transform ourselves as sales leaders to be where our buyers and our potential new hires are at. And as a seller, that when we can't go and shake hands with an individual, that even when things return back to normal, as we so think normal back in March of 2020, that guess what? It'll never swing back to the way it was. It'll never happen. Many companies are giving their employees the option from here to time indefinite, the opportunity to be able to work remotely and work from anywhere in the world. And so that changes the way we will engage with our buyers forever. And we have to understand that we might be in a remote selling position forever with some buyers. So what I want you to take away from this as well is that as a result of the modern selling and buying ways, it has created what we call a world of personalization. Sales in a remote selling and a virtual selling world is not about spray and pray. It is about leveraging hyper-personalization inside of your messaging, your communications, your targeting. And I want you to think of these logos that are popping up on your screen: Netflix, Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook. Other than the fact that they're all multi-billion-dollar companies, and whether or not you like them or not, one thing that these folks have in common is the fact that nearly everyone that is on these platforms are served some sort of personalized content from somewhere. So as an example, how many of you have ever gone to a website and you turn around and you open up Facebook and now all of a sudden you see an ad for that genre of services or that specific company? Or on Amazon, how many of you get alerts from Amazon that says, hey, you ordered your deodorant 3 months ago, and you've done that now twice every few months. Would you like to order some new deodorant now? Everyone is served up some sort of personalized content. And our buyers have now adapted to this personalized engagement model that they've taken from the B2C world and moved it directly into the B2B world. And you and I, as sales leaders, you and I as sellers must think differently about how we are going to engage with our buyers in a personalized way. And it's now grown to be the expectation of our buyers to be served up personalized information, personalized connection requests on LinkedIn, personalized emails that are unique and specific to that individual, personalized video messages, not the generic ones that have you holding up a whiteboard that automatically puts the person's name on there. It is personalized to that individual and or at least personalized to the buyer persona. So if you think about today's modern buyer and today's modern seller, customers no longer want to be sold to. They're looking for fresh insights from your sales team. They're looking for education, and they're looking for helpful engagement from your sales team. So if you look at the old way of selling, we used to cold call. We used to email blast. We used to attend networking events. Boy, don't you remember those? And we also used to use our referral network. Well, this is the old way of selling. And the new way, the right way of selling is really around the omnichannel approach. In the center of this new way or omnichannel way is still cold calling, email blasting, and one day attending networking events. But now, surrounding all of that, in addition, is the omni-channel way. And that includes things like leveraging text messaging, leveraging social networks, leveraging a digital referral, direct mail, or gift marketing, or the buyer engages you. I literally just got off an executive phone call right before this specific Modern Sales Mastery show. And I asked the individual, the leader, how did you find us? And they said, Google. I was doing research on virtual selling and you guys popped up at the top of the charts. And I reached out, I looked at your website, I reviewed all this material, read a couple of blogs, and I said, I'm ready to reach out. I watched your videos, I watched your keynote, I watched this. So the buyer had done their research before even coming to us. And we didn't even know that this buyer even existed. It was not even a target of ours. So you've got to keep in mind that as we think about that the buyer is engaging us, our sellers need to be socially engaged. They need to be pushing content out there. And you get the benefits on platforms like Twitter and LinkedIn when a seller is pushing out content that is helpful, that answers questions around who you help, how you help, and what business problem you solve, that you have the power of connections. When someone likes your post, their network now has the ability to see that information. And if you got one buyer who is as an example, we sell to VPs of sales. If one VP of sales likes it, don't you think that that VP of sales is connected to another VP of sales that I'm not? That's exactly right. So now it becomes the power of amplification. Also, if you think about this omni-channel way, I will absolutely admit in the modern selling world that our job as a sales organization has gotten much more complex. I literally have buyers right now that will only respond via text and that will only respond via email, only respond through a phone call, or only engage on social networks. I've got buyers who do not like to receive video, and I've got buyers who love to receive video. So with that in mind, our job has gotten a lot more complex because buyer A may prefer one method of communication where buyer B prefers a different and buyer C prefers a different one. And we need to enable our sales team to be able to track that information. What was the way that this person engaged so that we can continue using that channel to engage with that buyer? And video, I didn't mention this one. I just clicked on the screen right now. You saw it pop up on digital video. Man, the power of video is completely underutilized. And teaching our sellers how to leverage video the right way is critical to our success in the 2021 and beyond years. And one of the best parts about this is that most sellers aren't leveraging video today. We're gonna have a lot of training in the Modern Sales Mastery Show around video, but also Vengreso has our Selling with Video sales training program, along with our social selling training program and our entire Modern Sales Mastery program as well. So the right way is the omni-channel way. Anything short of the right way, using the old way of just continuing to make cold calls, doing 3 calls in a row, hoping that someone will answer the phone as opposed to being irritated, blasting them through some sort of automation or cadence technology that's just gonna blast out emails, one message every couple days on a cadence. That's the old way, and that creates barriers to our success. What you do not wanna do is that you don't wanna be punched in the face by your buyer. Rather, think of the new way, how your buyers are engaging through the omni-channel. Because guess what? They're also remote as well. They're using all the same channels that you're using. Social media to engage with their internal constituents. Video to engage with their internal constituents. Email to engage with their internal constituents. Phone to engage with their internal constituents. Guess what? We've got to meet the buyer there in using all of those channels. And that is the right way to sell today. A call to all sales leaders. If you're a sales manager, sales director, if you're a sales vice president, CRO, CSO, we want your input. We are preparing right now a massive guide for sales managers, the ultimate guide for sales managers. We want to have you contribute your best practice for leading in a virtual world. So just go to vengreso.com/sales managers and apply to be into our guide. We want to basically publish hundreds of your suggestions and tips on how to lead in a virtual world so that other sales managers, both new and existing, will have an opportunity to be able to learn how to be better. And as a community, we've got to drive ourselves to absolutely be better. Well, listen, I'm going to take some Q&A right now. I'm Mario Martinez Jr., and you can definitely email us at info@vengreso.com. Our entire team is waiting to help support you. So let me get to the Q&A. I'll come back off the slides. So I've got some questions that are coming in right now. Thank you so much for asking your questions. Wow, there's a lot of questions. I appreciate it. Let's see. How can I create video without pro equipment? All right, I'm going to tell you a secret. Here is my equipment for the person who asked that question. Great question. How can I create video without pro equipment? If you go to vengreso.com and you look at all the videos that I have recorded, there is only one of two things that I have used. It is either a Logitech HD 1080p camera, and that is sitting right on top of my monitor, what I'm talking to you on right now. So it's either the Logitech that costs $29.99, I think it's something like that, or maybe it's 20 bucks. And about 60 or 70% of my videos are created using this thing right here. You got it, an iPhone. I love the camera on the iPhone. I've got the iPhone 10, and so it's a phenomenal camera, and that camera is super good enough to be able to create high quality videos, and it works really, really well. There's a lot of application providers that are out there like OneMob, Videolicious, BombBomb, even Loom. Loom has a free plan that you can sign up with to start creating videos. Just use your camera. So you don't need a bunch of pro equipment. And I will say this, one little hint. Hold on, let me grab it. Okay, I'm back. For the first time in 4 years of recording videos, did I buy this thing called it's backwards, you can't see it. The LED stand light, maybe you can't see it. And it's a ring lamp for recording videos. So it's by Teotronics. I haven't used it yet, so I can't give it a recommendation. But with that in mind, I've just bought that for the first time in 4 years. And to now make my videos look even more snazzier, apparently as the CEO of the company, I need to make them look snazzier. So that having been said, not much is required for video equipment. Okay, next question. How can I personalize messages without spending a lot of time on it? Okay, this is a great one. If you actually go to our YouTube channel, vengreso.com, there's 3 short videos. One of them is actually, you know what? pvcsalesmethod.com. And there's a whole entire article on personalizing messages that's not going to take you 30 minutes to personalize each message. So go to the pvcsalesmethod.com, read that 15-minute long article. There are 3 videos inside that article that will help you with personalizing the message. If you can't personalize to the individual, you can personalize to the buyer persona. So if you can't personalize to the individual, you can personalize to the buyer persona, and we show you how to do that. And so go pvcsalesmethod.com is one of them. And the second one is Andrea on my team will also throw in our Fly Message. If you go to flymessage.io, which is essentially a link off of vengreso.com. If you just go to vengreso.com and click on Fly Message, you'll be there. Inside of there are over 20 different sales templates on a free Chrome plugin. So take a look at flymessage.io and install the free Chrome plugin. And inside there, you're going to get a bunch of templates. Those templates are designed to help you personalize messaging where you fill in the blanks. And that will absolutely help you speed things up. Now, in our sales training program, if you're an individual seller or small sales team, basically 14 sales reps and below, we have a complete on-demand training program, Selling with LinkedIn, and that's available online. You can go to moresalescalls.com and you'll get right exactly to that training program. We have over 70 different templates that you can basically cut and paste and put them into Fly Message once you've installed it and still use it as the free version. And we will then show you very specifically, along with coaching, how to go about creating personalized messaging that won't take you 30 minutes to be able to do one, right? Our goal is what we call the 3x3. 3 things in 3 minutes. And we take you through that 3x3 methodology. So flymessage.io, install the Chrome plugin. It'll make things super, super, super quick. And it's got some of the templates inside there. My next question: what do you recommend as a first step for sales leadership looking to leverage an omni-channel selling approach? All right, I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Sorry, but I'm going to take a swag at the question. What do you recommend as the first step for sales leadership looking to leverage an omni-channel selling approach? Number one, the first thing you got to do is you need to be able to come to the table and say, I admit that we need help. Number two, the second thing that you need to do is you need to understand that skills-based training around tools and technologies is not a one and done scenario. You can't just have your social media manager come in and help you do some LinkedIn stuff. One, it'll never work. Two, your social media manager never carried a quota and your salespeople will look at them sideways. And three, it requires an ongoing behavior change, which is why our social selling training program as part of Modern Sales Mastery actually is a 3-month training program, 12-month support program. So what you need to do in order to be able to do that, whether it's that or video as an example, is you need to start leading from the front and start doing. And to start doing, you will show your sales team, start sending them videos that's instead of an email, a Monday morning video message that you send out to your folks that allows them to quickly see that you're using new technology. The other thing that I would have you do is I would have you look at how you're going to level up your team skills. One of the conversations I just had today, as a matter of fact, with a prospect, it was one of the executives that came in, and it wasn't from the sales organization. And it was a different executive. And she asked me, she said, what do you think it means when the sales leadership team is not looking for these types of solutions? And it's me in the HR organization that's looking for it. And I would say that I said, well, I would venture to guess that sales leaders have not figured out that we basically have entered into the 21st century and remote selling is here to stay. And she said, that's exactly the way I feel. So the key is that you've got to admit that times have changed. And as a result, you need to be doing what it is you want your reps to be doing. And in order for you to do that, you got to make sure that you're getting trained on that. So hopefully that helped answer the question. If it didn't, just send us an email to info@vengreso.com and we'll definitely make sure to get your questions answered. Wow, that was a lot of questions. Some of the questions that are also coming in as well are around, can you tell us what the guide to the sales managers is one more time? And the answer to that is yes. Our ultimate guide to sales managers is going to be published here in the first quarter. We're basically asking for you to give us your best pro tip on how to lead a virtual selling team. And you may be selected and be published into Vengreso, which has a prolific reach. We reach about 50 million sales and marketers annually through our social media. So make sure that if you want some visibility, give a great in-depth tip. We may bring that into the actual guide. But go to vengreso.com/sales-managers. And if you missed that, feel free to email us at info@vengreso.com. Listen, guys, I'm excited that you joined me here today. I want to thank you for joining the Modern Sales Mastery show here. Remember, we will be here giving you tips on how to help level up your sales organization, your sales team, or you as an individual. Mario Martinez Jr., CEO and founder of Vengreso, thanks for joining us.